Hey guys, it's David here, and today is an incredibly exciting day because my pop princess Ariana Grande has released her sophomore album, My Everything. I was such a huge fan of her first album, Yours Truly. I've been a fan of hers since she was in 13 the Musical on Broadway, and I just cannot wait to let you guys know what I think of this album track by track. So without further ado, let's just get it together and go. So she starts the album off as any classy diva should, with a dedicated intro track, and it is 1.5 minutes of pure vocal bliss. It is an a cappella assortment of vocal ad-libs layered over whistle tones and head voice runs, and I'm just thinking, I am so looking forward to the rest of this album. Without further ado, we blast into the first single, Problem, which by now has become a summer hit. We've all been dancing to it in the clubs for months, and it's no surprise that this was the first single. I think it was a really wise choice. It's upbeat, but Ariana's vocals shine. The funky horns give it a little bit of sass. I would say that in my opinion, I actually think Iggy Azalea's rap section is the weakest part of this track, but I know that Iggy stans would hunt me down and kill me for saying that, so I'm just gonna keep that to myself, other than this video. After that, we've got One Last Time, which is a pretty good dance track. I would say it's not my favorite. It's a little bit generic, but it's something that you can move about to. And after that, we have Why Try, which is a pretty catchy power ballad. Her vocal in the choruses sounds powerful. I really like the hum backing vocal approach, and the snares definitely remind me of EXO by a certain Queen Bee. Break Free is the second single off the album, and once again, they were wise choosing this one as a single. I think that in general, it's pretty obvious which songs on the album were written probably to be radio-friendly singles. My first impression of this song was that essentially any of the pop divas could have sung it. Demi Lovato's voice could have fit into it nicely. Katy Perry could have, you know, figured out a way to sing it within the EDM context. But I really do think that Ariana Grande sings the crap out of this song, and especially her ad-libs coming out of the bridge and into the final chorus. It's really hard for vocals to stand out on an EDM track, and Ariana really powers through it, so kudos to her. Then we've got Best Mistake featuring Big Sean, which has got to be one of my favorites on the album. Even though it's a simple droning mid-tempo, I am a sucker for a descending bass line. Not to mention the sick detailing of the chorus. I'm obsessed with the simple two-part harmony lead-in. I'm obsessed with the fact that the main refrain is on the offbeats and that it's syncopated and that Ariana is lending some detail with her chest to head voice flip. She is playing the R&B vocals game, and she is playing it well. And directly following this is another favorite of mine, Be My Baby, which they actually announced as the third single, much to my surprise, and I freaked out. This to me sounds like a Right There 2.0. That's a song on her first album, Yours Truly. It's a hit. It's featuring Big Sean. It's one of my favorites. I have no complaints about the fact that they have the exact same chord progression, because honestly, Ariana just sings it so well. Like the ad-libs coming out of the bridge, she legitimately chest belts a B flat. How? If she does this live, I will freak out. The only small complaint I have about this track is that the bridge isn't really a bridge, it's more of an instrumental breakdown, whereas I feel like an R&B track like this especially could have benefited from a bridge to fill it out. This is something I feel like I want out of a lot of Ariana songs, actually. Usually there's either like a rapper doing a breakdown or an instrumental, but bridges are great. Like, please give her some bridges. Please just like build a bridge. Break Your Heart Right Back was the song that everybody was talking to leading up to the album's release. It's a song about a boy who cheats on her with a boy, suitably mashed up with I'm Coming Out. And I have to say that the mashup is actually not that awkward. I think that they did a good job of contrasting the verses with the choruses, which include the mashup section. And it sounds full. I like the production. It sounds like it has a good amount of layers to it. One thing that I did notice, and this is like super nitpicky and nerdy, but I'm gonna share it because why not? At 2 minutes and 8 seconds, Ariana does one of her trademark head voice runs, and in general, we're used to her repeating runs a little bit, but in this particular situation, when I heard it, I had to do a little bit of an eye roll, because this is a run that she has literally used in Right There, You'll Never Know, and Baby I on her previous album, and I just thought, you know, after 3 tracks on Yours Truly featuring this head voice run, she would maybe try and retire it, but no, it appears on her sophomore album. I'm hoping that Ari gets the chance to like sit down and listen to some new tunes, just to refresh her riff vocabulary, because she is a little bit guilty of reusing runs. After that, we've got Love Me Harder featuring The Weeknd, one of my favorite artists of all time. I would say objectively, I think this is the best track on the album. It's also one of my personal favorites, but I just think production-wise and construction-wise, it's dark, it's droning, it feels like a good collaboration. Both of their verses are on point, it's sexy. I really love this track. I don't have any complaints. Just a Little Bit of Your Heart is not my favorite track on the album. To me, it sounds like it probably could have been cut. I think that had Harry Styles not written it, it probably would have been cut, but you know, you can't upset those directioners. And then we've got Hands on Me, which I think that everybody knew was not gonna be a single. It's definitely like a throw to the gay fans. Like, you can dance to it, you can move your body to it, but it's not a great song. It reminds me of like Christina Aguilera non-single album songs, if that makes sense. Also, the ad-libs are very Christina Aguilera. We wrap up the official album with My Everything, the title track, and to me it sounds like a Honeymoon Avenue 2.0. They have very similar chord progressions. This one's a simple ballad, piano, her vocal. It's nice. It's not a major standout for me, but it works. Now let's talk about the 2 bonus tracks on the deluxe edition. Only one is my favorite song on the album, and it should not have been a bonus track. It's short, it's simple, but it's got an amazing R&B groove, and do not get me started about the fact that there is legitimately an 8-note run built into the chorus. I mean, can she sing this live, please? The other bonus track, You Don't Know Me, sounds like a bonus track. I'm sorry, but the lyrics sound defensive and generic, like any pop star could have sung them, and ironically enough, this song actually gets a bridge, and that's the most interesting part of the song. Anyway, overall, I really enjoyed the album. I'm definitely going to be listening to it for weeks to come, although to be honest, I'm not sure if I enjoyed it as much as yours truly. I just remember being completely blown away by the perfection of the R&B stylings on that album, and I think that there were a few more forgettable tracks on this album that grew on me, but I could see people passing over who are just casual listeners. Still, Ariana delivered killer, consistent vocals, which is why we love her. I cannot wait to hear some of these non-singles sung live, I hope soon. But of course, let me know what you guys thought of the album, if you agreed with me, if you completely disagreed with me. And if you like this review and you want to see more, I just reviewed the 2014 VMAs posted today, so I will link that up there, and you can find the stuff in the down bar. And other than that, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Okay, bye. They opened the show with my pop princess Ariana Grande singing Break Free. She sounded tentative at first, but once the option up started coming, she sounded way more comfortable. Also, I loved that she just completely avoided the controversial